everyone. So it's my first day in China. I'm in my room right now. Everything's going well so far. As I said, it's just my first day. Today I didn't go out. I stayed at home, just like trying to prepare my room. I still have a lot more to like sort out, like unpack my suitcases, sort out like my dressing table area and stuff. My bed is like so comfortable, and it's actually bigger than my bed at home. I thought I was gonna have like a small bed, small room, but my room is like quite big. I'll show you what it looks like once it's like finished and it's not messy. Like I haven't even made my bed or anything. I've just like showered and been doing a few things. The house is actually quite nice. It's much bigger than I thought. It's me and two other housemates who are really cool. They're really like talkative and kind and stuff. So I know I'll get like a lot of help out here. They're at work at the moment, so I've just been in the house by myself. And then tomorrow's Monday. Monday and Tuesday are our days off. So tomorrow, I'm sure like they'll take me out to like get a few things prepared, like my phone and some other stuff, so I can use the internet. My flight coming here was like, okay, Air China. Okay, this is gonna be like an Air China rant. Um, it's like Air China's is cool. Like the seats are spacious. The like the toilet on the plane. I think it might have been like a disabled toilet, but it was like really big. When I went in there, I was shocked. Like I could literally run in the toilet. Well, not run, but do you know what I mean? Like it was big. Like you could actually move around and turn around in the toilet, not like those little ones that you get like on British Airways and Virgin and stuff. That it was like the air stewardesses or stewardess. They're not very nice. Like I thought air stewardess. I thought air stewardess were supposed to be able to speak English. Like no matter where you're going, they should speak English. Even if like they're not fantastic, like the British person, they should be able to understand when I ask for a glass of water. I asked for a glass of water and the lady was like, "What?" I was like, "Water?" She was like, "What?" I was like, "Water?" And she's like, "Oh, water." I was like, "Yeah, that's what I said, water." Like I didn't even say water. Like I usually say, like I say water, but I said water, so she could understand me, and she was looking at me like I was an idiot. And then I said, like for breakfast, they gave us like these omelet things, and I said, oh, I don't eat egg. You can have this because there was like a croissant and fruit there that I was fine with to have. So I giving it back to her, and she was looking at me like I was like, take it, you can have it. I don't eat egg. And the other air stewardess was who was actually usually like bringing our drinks and stuff. The other girl was helping her. She was like, "Oh, egg, you don't eat egg." I was like, "Yeah, I don't eat egg." But she said it in Chinese, but I learned how to say no egg in Chinese, so I understood what she said, like to a certain extent. So she was like, "Okay, okay." And then she was like, "Do I want porridge?" Now I don't eat porridge either. But I was just like, no, no, I'm fine, I'm fine. And then the lady next to me had porridge, and I was like, yeah, no, I wasn't eating that. I don't eat porridge. For breakfast, it was like, for breakfast, there was an option for beef or chicken. It was like, I had the chicken. I had no choice but to have the chicken. It was like chicken like with a batter thing and sauce, and then rice, carrots and peas, and then you had like some potato salad thing. I didn't eat that, and like a bread roll and some like dessert cheesecake thing. It was okay. It was really sweet though. But when the lady got to me, she was like, "Oh, we only have chicken." And then she gave me my tray, and she actually handed me my tray in my hand. She didn't put it down on the table. I was like so shocked. I was like, "Oh, you're not supposed to like put it down on the table." But anyway, she gave it to my hand. I was like, "Oh, okay," and I put it down in front of me. Then the guy, like a seat behind me on the side, who I could actually see, had the beef. So I'm thinking, didn't you just tell me there was only chicken? Not that I minded because I was gonna say chicken anyways, but don't tell me that there's only chicken and you're giving the man next to me beef. Like, what's that about? Unless he pre-ordered it, I don't know. But when I bought my ticket, there was no like thing. Oh, do you want beef or chicken? It was only vegetarian, like halal and like kosher stuff like that. So that was a bit funny. Another thing about him, after I come out the toilet, I wanted to get some water. I was like really thirsty on the train, on the plane. So I wanted to get some water. So I was walking past like the, where they serve the drinks and stuff. So walking past there, the air stewardess was casually sitting on the arm of some chair on like one of their chairs on the other side that they sit on. Casually sitting on the chair talking to some guy. I don't know who this guy was, but they were showing him a lot of attention. Like, I don't think he was famous or anything. But anyway, yeah, sitting on the arm of the chair talking to this guy, and I was like, hello, can I get some water please? And she's like, yeah, it's there. She literally just put it, she was like, yes. I was like, oh, I pour it myself. And she's like, yeah. And she just carried on talking. So the bottle was empty, and I just opened a new bottle and I should have took the whole bottle to my seat. That's how thirsty I was. And I had water in my bag, which I ended up having to chuck away, my water and my Lucozade, because when I got on the train, when I got on the plane, there was no space to put my stuff. Like, these people, it's like they brought their whole life as their hand luggage. I just had like my one bag, and I had a bag within that bag, and I had to pull it quay down like to the end of on to some other seat. That when I wanted to when I was thinking, oh, I want to get my water and stuff, I didn't, because one, I couldn't remember which one it was in, and two, that I didn't want to be leaning over people to get my stuff out. Like, so then when I got to Beijing, you had to go through like another like security check stuff. I chuck away my water and my Lucozade. I was so upset. I was like, I chucked this away as well. He was like, chuck it away. I was like, all right. But yeah, another thing about the plane, trust me to always be sitting in front of someone that wants to be knocking my back. I don't even know if it was a man or a woman. At first I thought it was a woman, but then when I like kept on looking behind me, I think it was a man. And I'm sure everyone on that plane knew each other, because they're having conversations from one seat to the other, shouting. Obviously, I don't understand what they're saying, so it's a bit more annoying. Because you're shouting so loud. Like, why did you get up and go to the person and talk to them? Anyways, this person kept on knocking my back. And then, you have the TV that you can like watch movies on. I was speaking to myself. It's touch screen, not bang screen. And I couldn't even say anything because the man wouldn't understand me, and I didn't want like these people to come and like murder me on the plane or something. So I just kept looking at him, and then his friend that was like kind of next to him, he kept on looking at me, getting annoyed, but not saying nothing to the friend. I was so vexed. And then the person next to the person who was sitting behind me was it's like every time they got to go to the toilet, they would lean on your chair and pull you down to bring themselves up. The woman next to me, yeah, she was sleeping. And I thought she was gonna murder the guy. The way she spun round and gave him the dirtiest look, but I think they know that's why he didn't even look in her face, so she couldn't say anything. And the man just went to the toilet. But that woman, she kept on elbowing me, sleeping and like elbowing me. It was cool. The seats were really spacious. They're more spacious than Virgin. I was really surprised actually. Going back to like the whole speaking English thing, like, you can't speak English, but you're speaking on that phone thing. Like, obviously, I'm on Air China. Like, most of the people on there are Chinese, so they say like all the instructions in Chinese first, which I was surprised. It's like really long compared to like the short sentence they will say in I was gonna say Korean, in English. But like the lady, like she had a nice voice and stuff when she was speaking in Chinese. When she got to the English, I looked at the guy next to me like, what did she just say? Like, these are safety things. These are like, you're telling us about like when we have a transit flight, but I can't understand a word you're saying. And then I think she's reading from a paper, so when she would get to a word that she couldn't really pronounce properly, she would either mumble it or she would go really quiet, and she'd say thank you, and then she'll just lock off. How am I supposed to understand what they're saying? Seriously, it was really bad, really, really bad. Like, I think in that kind of situation on a plane, you need to get someone who can speak English, like who can pronounce English properly, because there was loads of times that I wasn't sure, like when she had stopped speaking Chinese and she had started talking English, like it was just like, oh, she's talking English now, start listening. But she had probably said like a whole sentence already that I missed because I didn't realize she was speaking in English. I thought she was still speaking in Chinese because I couldn't understand the words she was saying. Maybe she's speaking in French, I don't know. When she first came on the tannoy, I was like, no, they're gonna have to change her. And then the pilot started speaking. So I was like, I didn't even know it was the pilot at first. So I was like, oh, they've got someone who can actually pronounce English. But he was better. There was one word that he thought he would just mumble as well because he couldn't say it properly. But he was much better. But then the same lady came back on when they were doing all the other announcements. Seriously. Like, come on. Like, I need to know when this plane is like if it's going to. But if there's an emergency, I need to know what I'm doing, and I can't understand the words you're saying. So that was plain. When I went to Beijing Airport, yeah, Beijing Airport was quite nice. It's a bit confusing, but there were like every person I asked, they could speak English to a certain extent, and they showed me like where to go. But then when I was in like the what do you call it, like the transit area waiting, this lady must have got off the plane when I was in the transit area, and she was like in my vision, just over there. And I looked at her and I was like, what is she doing? There was like a hot water place where you can get hot water, I guess. Maybe if you had tea bags in your bag, whatever, you can make a tea. So, anyways, her son was like making like hot water or whatever. And the woman was literally leaning over a bucket, throwing up. Keeping in mind, she's right next to the ladies' bathroom, right? But she's leaning over the bucket right there, throwing up. And the son is just casually pouring his hot water. Didn't even offer his mum any hot water. I don't care how young you are. When your mum's sick, you know that she's sick. So like, offer her some water. Anyways, this woman casually was throwing up in the toilets. I looked at her, I looked away, and I was like, she ain't throwing up. I looked again, and she was throwing up. And then had the cheek to go in the bathroom afterwards. So what are you doing? Why are you doing that? And that same bucket, some guy came. No, he was in the bucket actually, in the bin next to the bucket. Yeah, that noise, bringing up all the gunk. Yeah, and just spitting it. You're right next to the toilet. Why don't you go in the toilet and do that? And I'll be walking. This is all in the airport. I'll be walking, and someone's doing it as they walk. I just kept on thinking, are they about to spit that on the floor? Because there's nowhere for you to dispose of all that stuff. Like, what are you doing? Go in the bathroom and clean out your sinuses. You don't need to do it like while I'm walking to go through immigration. Like, what are you doing? People are crazy. I was transit. I got a flight from London to Beijing, and then Beijing to my city now, Shenyang. And the plane to Shenyang, first of all, I don't remember it because I was so tired. I didn't sleep on my first plane. The only thing I remember is as soon as I stepped onto that plane, there were flies. Why are there flies on the plane? And if you know me, you know I don't do bugs. I don't do ants, flies. I don't care how small or big you are. No bugs. Okay? There was flies on the plane. And not them like little fruit flies. They're like them flies that when you open your window, that the fly flies in. You know them big flies that buzz through on your ear? Them kind of flies. Why were they there? So confused. I was shocked when I saw them. But at first, I saw something like fly past, and I was like, no, maybe I'm like hallucinating because I was that tired. Next thing you know, yeah, I see the fly on the man's head. I was like, it's just not right. Like, why have you got flies on the plane? And I can understand if they flew in like while the plane was being cleaned, but get rid of it before Michaela steps on the plane. I'm not saying I'm a queen or anything, but I don't do bugs. and they shouldn't be on the plane. But it just like seriously. But anyways, so far so good. Um, yeah. I actually didn't cry. I thought I was gonna cry, like be sad, being here and stuff. But I don't know. It's still like so surreal being here. As I said, I've only spent one night here, my first night, and me and my housemates went out to pizza, and it was kind of like I'd known these people for a long time. Like it's two guys, two Irish guys. They're really cool. Um, yeah, and everything's fine so far. Hmm. So I'll keep you guys updated. See you later. Bye.